All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Episode 6
Woo.
of the Esports Experience. My name is Grayson Driver Wood. I'm here with graduate assistant Nick
Hello.
and League of Legends manager Beau. Welcome,
Hello.
guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
It's
Wonderful.
Good Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday.
It's a wonderful day. We got wonderful weather. This isn't a weather report, but
It's starting to get chilly.
A little bit.
honestly, I mean that's why I'm rocking this jacket.
Yeah,
'Cause,
dude,
like,
I was mad as hell coming in this morning.
Yeah.
I got in my car this morning for the first Friday this year, and the sun wasn't on it, and I was cold, and I was so sad.
you got to turn the butt warmer on. You got to turn the heat on, right? Yeah.
Takes a minute to get on.
I know what you mean. Get that morning chill off. But speaking of, the morning chill is off of this episode. We're going to get right into it. This is the League Experience. We're going to be dissecting some things about League today. Worlds is going on, so we're going to be talking plenty about that. We got some fire esports news for you guys. And then, thanks to you guys for submitting some setups, we'll be rating your setups and letting you guys know what we think with our unbiased expert opinions. With that being said, you guys ready to get into the news?
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's
As
crack into it.
Keemstar famously said, probably
Let's
we don't
get
want to yeah.
right.
We got the popcorn. All right. Let's get into it. So, first topic. Microsoft finally completes the Activision Blizzard acquisition, which includes, I think I saw a graphic, it was like 20 of like Activision's biggest titles. Your Overwatch, your Call of Duty. I saw Starfield on there. Like, literally, there's just a full acquisition. I believe it was in the works for over 20 months. We've heard a lot of news about this for the past year and a half or so, and it looks like it's finally come to fruition. Any takes on this? What do you guys think this, this has the impact on the gaming industry?
This is about to be a huge monopoly. I'm very interested to see how this goes on. I'm kind of surprised that the deal didn't get struck down eventually.
Wasn't it worth like 90 billion or
Yeah,
something?
it says
A
it's
lot.
finalized about
Oh,
69 million.
maybe I should read,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm hopeful for it. I know kind of a big conglomerate can get kind of scary, but I
Mhm.
think I grew up on Blizzard games and playing World of Warcraft since like 2008. Big Diablo fan as well. So seeing a company that can kind of understand the marketing and the selling aspect better.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a whole drama right now with like the $40 bundle of like skins
Yeah.
or something.
For, wait, what game?
For like it's like an Overwatch or Diablo collab,
Yeah.
and you have to pay like $40 to get the skin, and there's like no other way to get it.
Wow.
And it's like ridiculously expensive. I think Blizzard and Activision really missed the mark when it comes to like selling microtransactions.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they can use the expertise of the teams that are making the Blizzard games, because I think they make good games,
Mhm.
paired
the-
with the marketing and the understanding of how to sell stuff that Microsoft has, being a console giant that also now does like the Game Pass and stuff like that.
Yeah, that spot's it's always been the debate PlayStation versus Xbox, but in the past like 5 or so years, like you said with the Game Pass, it's been more and more obvious. Like they have a great introductory offer for it. You get all of the Xbox exclusives, and now you get all of the Activision games on it as well. Like that's gonna be a hard a hard deal.
Yeah, it seems to me like the big reason they did this deal was so that they could get some of those Blizzard games on the Game Pass, and that they can sell the Game Pass more, because they are pushing the Game Pass really hard. It seems like there's almost nothing that's like a console exclusive to Xbox anymore, because anything that is, they'll just put it on PC too, because they're trying to push Game Pass on PC and console.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is an interesting acquisition. I definitely think Blizzard needed a lot of help. They were doing a
Oh
lot
my God,
of
it
things.
seemed-
No, I totally agree.
I'm not sure Microsoft is the company I would have liked to see buy them, but it's good that someone's buying them.
Is there-
I
is there
think the
a-
Blizzard game.
Is there another company that you would have preferred
Uh,
to see, or maybe just
I don't know, just one that's not as big.
yeah?
Because
so-
yeah,
they have a
that's-
lot.
it does definitely raise concerns of like, wow, they have. You think of any big game like.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not going to name specific ones, but they own so many IPs now
Yeah.
with this acquisition.
No, it's insane
It's like
how many IPs
you
they
have
own.
you have
Like even
PlayStation.
Candy Crush. Like
They have
that's
Candy
big.
Crush. Where,
Yeah, it says Candy
Oh
Crush.
my
Like
God, I see
apparently that's
that.
an Activision Blizzard franchise.
It was
Wow.
owned by Activision. I
World of
believe.
Warcraft,
yeah.
Diablo, Overwatch,
all of
Call
these
of Duty,
staples, these
Candy
franchises
Crush.
that have been around for like 20 years or more.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Xbox. This is now that we're talking about it, the scope of this is actually hitting me,
No,
right?
it is massive. It is so. There's a reason they're paying $69 billion to
Yeah.
acquire all of this. It is so much, and yeah, I'm really interested to see what the ramifications of this are going to be. If there's going to be like any complaints from other companies, or if there's going to be other mergers, or what's going to happen after that.
Any like legal action against them. I know
Yeah.
it went through, but I mean, it doesn't stop anyone from throwing a suit
Yeah,
up, right?
yeah, for sure.
Well, dang. Well, what a way to kick it off. Congratulations, Xbox. Hopefully, the management of Xbox will be able to steer Blizzard in the right direction, like we touched on
I
earlier.
think they'll do a better job than Blizzard was
Yeah,
doing.
all those.
I
what is
did
it?
read that apparently Bobby Kotick is keeping his job. So
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's suspicious.
I take it he has a negative rap in the
Yes,
Activision
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, no, he's their CEO. He's a troll, dude. He's not.
You never want to troll as
Nah,
your CEO.
Not good.
Well, dang. With that being said, let's roll it along to the next topic. Congratulations, Microsoft, as always. And now we're going to get into something a bit more closer to home. We're talking about Rocket League.
Yeah.
This, Tyler, the game head, he sent this in the chat, and he started fuming. So
Yeah, I saw him talking about this. He
Yeah.
mentioned that he believes the reason that they're so. First off, you look at this and you go, the game has been able to trade like items forever. What is the reason for turning it off since the game's been out for like 6, 7 years at this point?
Yeah.
Tyler said that he thinks the reason they're doing it is because Epic does not make money off of trading on the Steam marketplace, because now that Epic owns the game, they like have Rocket League on there, but anyone who previously played on Steam can still play on Steam, and as far as I'm aware, like all like the pro players still play on Steam because like there's a lot more settings that you have access to that can mess with stuff. But now if you're playing on Epic, I guess if you're playing on Epic, they just don't profit off any of the trading, which was big. And obviously, people like trading cosmetics, so it saves them money. They can get stuff they want. So it sucks that they're turning it off. I kind of get why, because it just seems like they were losing money off people trading it. But I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, I mean, players should be able to trade their items that they get in game, especially if you're paying money to open a loot box to get it. It's like it's a little crazy.
So how the Steam market works is, for anyone that doesn't use Steam, although I imagine most of you do, whenever you sell something to another player in the market, you get, I believe, 85%, and the last 15% goes
something
to Valve.
like that. Yeah.
And I believe it's a 10-5 split, so Valve gets 10% and the developer gets 5%.
Okay.
So whoever developed Rocket League before, they were making money on the trading, on people buying the game, etc., and they were also making a small percent of every trade between players. So it's not a lot, but it allows
adds
them.
up.
It allows them to keep offering trading because they're still making money even after it's trading between players' hands. Epic, I know, is incredibly anti-Valve, and they are trying to become a competitor to Valve. From my understanding, they don't have a trading market themselves.
No, they don't.
But I imagine they're probably not very happy that they get 5%. Valve gets 10%. So I imagine they've probably worked it out that they could make a decent bit of money if they just cut off trading and then made it so you had to purchase the in-game items through Epic. So driving down trading and more like wholesales of boxes and items probably is what they want to do. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's very anti-player.
Yeah, it's
not
anti-player.
good.
It seems very short-sighted. Like you see this a lot where it's like, oh, we're going to restrict features, we're going to make a big change, and sure, your quarterly report might go up in the short term because everyone's forced to buy your in-store stuff and the player-to-player trading isn't there. But like in a year or two, sure, you can have a record profit in your in-game store, but if half the player base is gone because they don't like it, now that might be an over-exaggeration, but the thought is still there. Like the underlying amount of money that you're making just is not. It's not going to be worth it because the player base will be dying. This is obviously another thing that we elaborated on this with Tyler and Josh on, but the general sentiment is that the community is not happy with the direction the game is going. Something with the Unreal Engine just taking a bunch of years to come out. This is obviously another nail in the coffin for Rocket League. It's not looking good for the esport, and admittedly, it's a pretty fun esport, but I just don't see. I hope that they'll get their stuff together.
This will definitely hurt the player base, though. Like it's not quite as egregious, but a decision like this kind of reminds me of the Unity decision. I'm sure I'm sure you guys are talking about that. We might actually get some more news on that after. I don't know if we will or not. But that decision was just so bad. It's just like, why? It's just so out of touch. I mean, I feel like this is not an out of touch decision. They clearly understand like what's up with the trading and why they did it, but it just sucks. I would have liked to have seen them try to implement some sort of like Epic client-side trading.
At the very least,
at a minimum.
At the very least, give them an alternative. I know not necessarily one-to-one, but in an effort to, I'm not sure how big like scamming or something was in the Rocket League, like how malicious that market was.
Yeah.
But with CS:GO, when the whole betting sites and trading was massive, and Valve,
CS:GO Lotto.
Dude, take me back, man. But like in an effort to sort of curb the scamming and the manipulation and everything, they didn't just outright ban player to trading because that would nuke the market.
Yeah.
But they implemented a 7-day trade ban when you unbotch something, when you get it from the market, when you get it traded to you. So it helps it helps to rein in the malicious activity.
Yeah.
And I know this was probably primarily money motivated,
Yeah.
but even then, it's like, did you really have to remove player-to-player trading, or is there something else you could have done
There's-
without giving them another alternative?
There's got to be something else they could have done for sure.
They better be cooking some form of alternative to this.
Justice for my Rocket League players, man.
Yeah,
let
it's-
them
it's
trade
really
their
sad.
hats.
Seriously, justice for Rocket League. Now, what even cosmetics are Rocket League? Like cosmetics, you said like hats. I'm sure
There's-
there's
I
games.
think
There's
there-
decals.
Yeah.
There's boosts, like different like boost trails.
Okay.
There's different car bodies.
There's like goal
There's
effects, right?
colors. Yes. There's when you
Okay.
score a goal. There's different
I
effects.
saw one that was like a dab, and I was like, wow, that's pretty dated.
I got made fun of for dabbing at work yesterday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I whipped it
I
out.
don't blame them.
All right.
You don't
Next
blame
topic,
them,
please.
bro. He's setting
I'm
the
keeping
new meta,
I'm
dude.
keeping the dab meta alive.
Yes,
all right?
bro. Yes.
When I dab, you can feel it all the way over there. I promise you. The wind is just that strong. Well, rip Rocket League. Hopefully they'll bounce back.
Yep.
Get it, ball
Shout
joke.
out to my goats.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I'm funny like that, right? Let's go, boys. With that being said, I'm kind of over Rocket League. Let's move on to the next topic.
Damn.
This I know. I'm a hater for Rocket
Oh,
League.
this is a good one.
This
Oh, I
can we-
haven't seen this. What is
Can we?
this?
Okay, so can we just go full screen
Yeah,
and
go
then
full
full
screen. I wanna
silence,
see
and then
this.
we'll play it. Let's get a live reaction, please. Competitively viable FPS. Can we get it one more
Run it
time
back,
just for
run
the
it back,
memes?
run it back.
Oh man, this will never not get old. Yeah, bro slid onto the screen. So that, as you can see,
what was even happening there? Was that real? Was
that
like
is a real
real?
clip from a real game.
Oh,
That is
my.
that happened to multiple people. It is a.
Is it a glitch?
It was so.
It
It's
was
called
patched
the
today.
Michael Jackson peak. It was patched last night actually.
night.
But yes, it so as you can see on the screen, he's doing the famous Michael Jackson. I don't even know
Yeah.
what the move is called,
He's
but
shimoning, dude.
he's shimoning, he's sliding, he's doing the little tilt. He has the nails in the floorboard to let him to do
Shimon.
that. But basically, what happened is, because CS2 is new, this actually wasn't present in the beta or in the full release. This is a new bug that was previously patched. It was in the game for about a week. But basically, something went wrong with the netcode, and when I think it was like a specific activation on your keyboard,
Mhm.
and the people came up with analog keyboards, how you can sort of half press a key and you'll only go half
Yeah.
the power.
Yeah.
People can use analog keyboards, well they could use it, and they would be able to manipulate their movement to get them to do a Michael Jackson peak. So it could be done accidentally, it could be done on command, but basically the foot, because CS2 renders feet now on your side, the whole movement is all janky, right? So the feet stay stationary, but the body continues moving, which results in this this Michael
That's
Jackson
crazy.
peak.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
follow
That is
some
pretty crazy
people-
tech, actually. Like
Yeah.
that hitbox shifting is crazy.
Because it
It's
completely
really impactful.
it completely throws you off. Luckily it's patched, but you can see the clip. He's aiming where the body should
no,
be.
yeah,
if
no,
it's
he's
in line
aiming
with the feet.
exactly
Yeah.
where he should be.
And
then
but no, the
dude's
guy's just
leading.
all the way over here, right?
Yeah, I follow a few Counter-Strike people on Twitter, and I saw that someone posted an auto-exec file to make
Yeah.
this repeatable. So it was you could consistently do this every time you peaked.
It was a
Uh,
major issue.
Major issue. It wasn't just a one-off thing. You could repeat this literally every single time. It was not hard to do.
Yeah.
And I've seen the clips all over Twitter from multiple games, multiple POVs, and they're all so funny.
And I mean,
will never not get over
At
it.
least
This
the
is
community
insane.
had a little bit of lighthearted reaction to it, because it is
Calling it the
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson
Can you
peak.
actually
Yeah,
can
no,
you
this
actually
is
pull
funny
up
as hell.
Counter Strike's Twitter account? Because I want to say they changed their bio, to just have the Michael Jackson peak in it. It was pretty funny. Yeah, see that? That's the Michael Jackson
Yeah.
peak. Before
That's
it
good.
was the actual character, but now it's Michael Jackson. So just a little.
That's
They're
pretty
aware it's
funny.
patched, but they have a little bit of sense of humor, which is why Counter Strike's the best
Ain't no way
esport.
they're
But
best out
we'll
of
get to that.
Bellevue, Washington.
yeah, no, that's they're in Seattle.
Shout out.
Famous Valve office, 300 employees. But yeah, so that's patched. A little nice nugget of history for the Counter Strike 2 at the very beginning. Only a few weeks into release. But yeah, one more
He gets
time for
so
the boys.
low.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
he really gets
He
low,
must
bro.
crouch here, I
That-
He's
imagine.
playing limbo.
If that were you, how would you react? Would you smash your desk? Would you punch your monitor? Or would you just be like, I don't know what to do, man?
I would just be shook.
No,
I'd just be
I would
like,
give it to him.
Yeah.
Respect where respect's
would
due.
you? I don't know. I think
Like,
I'd be
New
a
meta.
little
you
too
can't
bad
be
to
mad
give it
about
to
that.
him.
I feel like you can't be mad about that.
Oh, come on. You can absolutely
that
be
happens-
mad about
it's
that.
too funny, and
Yeah.
it's obviously it's not something that's gonna
Look at how
stay.
far his legs are going,
Obviously, it's not
bro.
staying in the
What if you
game.
lost LP to that? What if you lost LP
Well,
to that,
you know,
man?
I should have been doing it too.
Yeah, get with the
Sure,
meta, right? Get with the
sure,
former
okay.
meta. Well, that's just another. I'm sure we'll have some more interesting bugs we'll cover for CS2 in the future. But with that being said, I think that's all the news we wanted to cover. Unless you guys have anything you want to bring up on the spot.
No news on my end, no.
All right, coolio. We'll roll right along. You guys ready for a little conversation, a little bit back and forth, a little bit talking about the actual point of a
Yeah.
podcast, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
let's
yeah?
get right into it. So let's start it off. You guys are both associated with league manager. I
Yep.
know you've been historically associated with Smash mostly. Now as a
Mhm.
graduate assistant, you have your hands in a bunch of different pools. But what is the main thing or something, the primary thing that drew you guys to League?
Mhm.
For your specialty, for your interest, what? Just sort of
Sure.
walk me through that.
Sure, I'll go first. So, people know me as the Smash guy. I'm at every Smash BMS. Used to me hanging out with the Smash players a lot. But I was League way before I was Smash. So in 2015, I saw an LCS stream. It got linked to me, like my friends were watching it who played the game, and I watched it, and I was just like, I have literally no idea what's happening, but I'm interested. And so I got on my crappy laptop. Thank God League works on every laptop, but I think that's a big reason why it's popular to this day. It's because it works on literally
You
everything.
could run it on like a
You
toaster.
can run it on a toaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to run it successfully on my toaster, and I played it when I was 15. I was like, I have literally no idea what's happening in this game, but it's pretty sick. And then from there, I played the game super hard for till like the end of 2018, early 2019 is kind of like when I stopped playing the game a lot. I took like a break for like a year or two. I wasn't having fun anymore. I don't play like the main mode like much at all anymore. I play the casual mode a lot. I'm an ARAM warrior. Um, but I still keep up with the pro scene a lot. I still think the game's really cool. It's just it's a lot of effort to actually play the game and keep up with it a lot. But I still love League. I'm watching Worlds super intently. I've been watching all the
yep.
pro play going into it super intently. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in there.
Yeah.
My dad's been playing since the beta, so he kind of got me hooked on it.
When was the beta released?
2010, I believe.
Okay.
Somewhere
Yeah, I
around
knew
there.
it's
I want to say the
over a
beta
decade
was a
old.
little
Might have been
earlier than that.
09.
I think 2010 was like season 1.
Yeah, it might have
Okay.
been 09.
So like 09, 08.
But like my dad's been big into games. He's got me into plenty of games as a kid. But I really liked playing RTS games. I originally played RTS games and Counter Strike. Actually, I was global in global elite in Counter Strike before I ever started playing League.
Yeah.
But something about it, it's like a little bit longer of matches. Like I know a Counter Strike match can go for an hour, but you're playing a lot of 2-minute rounds or 3-minute
Yeah,
rounds.
the action is very in
Yeah,
bursts.
League kind of builds upon
Yes.
itself, and
The game is dynamic.
the game is very dynamic, and I really like the fact that the roles were so well defined that you couldn't necessarily from one position you can't do what someone else does.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's not like part of what drew me away from Counter Strike when I was a kid was like, man, we're all 5. We all use all the guns. So maybe some person only uses a sniper or whatever.
Yeah.
But certain people, like if I just had a worse aimer on my team, I felt like I would lose. But in League, because the roles are more diverse, and granted, people still solo lose me games in League.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was really diverse, and all the characters are pretty unique, very unique skill sets. I know Overwatch and like Valorant came afterwards, and they have some unique characters. But League really like blew my mind with how different some of the characters could be, and how just different the game felt based on who you were playing.
Now, how many characters are there in League? Or aren't they
there-
called champions?
They're called
Yes, they're called
Okay.
champions. I want to say it's between 165 and 170.
We're at about
Wow.
168, I believe. I know we're more than 166 for sure, but I don't know if we're 167 or 168.
The really crazy thing about that is when I started playing the game in 2015, we said, "Oh, we have 128 champions," and we thought that was a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
even like having 50 champions, I feel like it blows my
Yes.
mind. And to hear it's 3 times that, like how
It's
I've
absurd.
always wondered, like how do you stay on top of so many characters? Surely you're not memorizing everything about every character,
Oh, no.
right?
There's
Oh, no,
there's
definitely not.
many of them that aren't ever viable and you'll probably never see.
Yep.
Okay.
But think about it like this: since there's 5 distinct roles, there's characters kind of split into 5 categories and then
Okay.
5 subcategories. So
Mhm.
if there's 150 champions, there may be only 25 in each
Yeah.
role.
Okay, and that's a lot more
And then you
digestible.
can break down a role. So
yeah, a
top-
lot of champions like cross rolls and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
Okay.
they're
But like
mm.
every character, every role has its own like sub splits. Like
Mm.
the top lane role is usually bruisers and tanks. So you're either very low damage, very tanky, shields, a lot of like stuns on your character, or you play a bruiser who like has a lot of health but not a lot of defensives, and they're like kind of a frontliner.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like you break down into category even further. There may be 25 total top laners, but they may be like 5 bruisers, 10 tanks, 5 specialists, and
A lot of
people can kind
variability
of
in
find
it,
their own
yeah.
pocket.
Okay.
Something that has always been true about the game, if you are trying to just rank up, the best way to do it is to one trick.
You just play one
Because
character.
you just play one character, and the reason you do that is because there are so many different characters in this game, so many different matchups that you need to know that if someone, well, first off, if you're silver, you don't even know how to play the game properly. So in addition to not playing the game,
Yeah.
in addition to not playing your champion properly, like your opponents are
You're-
also have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So if you just play one character and you focus on playing that one character, you're gonna know how that character plays against all the other characters because you have more reps on it. Than like what a lot of bad players do is they'll pick like 10 different characters in ranked because they're like, oh, I need to be situational, I need to be flexible, or they just want to show off that they have like a champion pool or whatever.
Mhm.
But if you just play one champion, you're gonna get good at them over and over, and it will be way easier to climb. If you're a pro player, you have to be able to play like a lot of different champions, but even then you'll see a lot of pro players like have
They
champion
stick to
pool
like 3
issues.
or 4.
Yeah. Something that has been criticized a lot of professional League of Legends over the last couple of years by like people in the community and analysts is that pro players aren't innovative enough. There's a lot of like champions that don't get picked often in pro that are considered good that aren't considered good in like a pro play context, but like they're worth trying and like unique angles that you can go with it. But a lot of pro teams are kind of meta slave. They kind of just stick to what's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
they-
they know works. Yeah.
Exactly. There's some characters that even though maybe they're not currently the best because they're so comfortable on it, they'll just keep playing it. But like the big champion right now is Garen. Garen did not see competitive play for many years, but he was already played at Worlds.
Yep.
He won. He looked dominant in his win. It was played in NA Challenger Series this past summer and spring by Moose Hater, an upcoming NA
a
talent
hell of a
who's
name.
like known for playing this one specific character.
Yeah.
And he really proved to everyone that like, hey, yeah, that no one plays this character in competitive, but he's a lot better than
Yep.
people think. Just because he's a character designed for like silver
Absolutely.
and bronze players,
He's pushing the
Yeah,
meta for that
and
character. Yeah.
people don't have an answer for it. They don't really know what beats it because no one's played enough
Yep.
of the matchup to really know.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
So every once in a while we see like we go through these long periods where no one really innovates, and then 1 or 2 people really break the mold,
Yep.
and then it shifts everything.
Yeah, and then everyone has to
and
adapt to
then
that
everyone
now.
adapts,
That makes
yep.
sense. Yeah. Dang. I
I
mean,
there could be a lot more meta innovations in professional.
Oh, there
League, but
absolutely
I
could.
think a lot of professional teams are stubborn. If you look at Dota and the international, which is also happening right now, you do not see that at all. Almost like Dota has like I want to say there's somewhere between like 100 and 120 heroes in the game. I'm not sure,
Mhm.
but like almost all of them get picked at every single the international.
the game
like,
is just fully understood, pretty much.
Sort of. I think the game is just better balanced. It's well, maybe not better. The balance approach in Dota is a lot different. Everything is way more broken than there is in League. Like when you buy items in League of Legends, you buy items to make your character more powerful and give them more stats and maybe a couple extra abilities. But there are no stats on items in Dota. It's all about like the additional abilities you can enhance your character with.
You are a vessel for your items in
Yes.
Dota more so than in League.
Yes,
Weird.
so it's great. It's a very interesting game.
And
I don't.
Yeah, I
jumping-
don't have any
Jumping
experience
back
with Dota.
to the champion thing,
Yeah.
the reason why we have so many is in the earlier days of season 3 and 4 and 5, they were releasing one champion about every month or sometimes every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they were going
Like every
absolutely
single
crazy.
patch
Yeah.
that did balancing
It was just
also
another
included a new character.
Mhm.
Now, after about 2015, 2016, I want to say,
They
they
slowed
realized
down
it,
a little
and,
bit.
and now we get about 5 or 6 a year. I think we get like about 5 a year.
Do any
Yes.
champions ever get removed, or is it like
No.
they're in the
They
game
have
and
they
they
can
have
never be
never removed a champion. They have reworked many of them because
I'd
they were
imagine.
bad.
Especially the old ones that were made in
yes.
like 2011 that
That have-
don't see any
yeah.
play. They have like 0.1% play rate, or like the way that they play is so one-dimensional that like you either beat them or you don't, and there's no in between. Those champions typically get reworked to be more balanced and more multi-dimensional, where they have
Okay.
more than just like one weakness, one strength. They can kind of
really bring them into
I-
line
yeah,
with
I
the
have
modern
two.
league?
I have two
Yeah.
examples I would bring up for that.
Go
The
for
first
it.
one is the OG example, Vladimir. Where there's a rioter who is on record saying that they think that making Vladimir was a mistake. Straight up.
Wow, you never want to hear that from your creator.
It's really weird because he doesn't feel like he's that oppressive with all the new champions these days. But just Vladimir's whole deal was that he had no mana and he just healed. Like he
he was like
he's
the first,
like a
one of
blood
the first
vampire.
characters with no mana, and all of his abilities took a little bit of health, but then healed him much more.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's that, and then they reworked him multiple times. He's not like oppressive anymore, but honestly, I feel like
They've discarded him.
the game's kind of just gone past him.
Yeah.
Like if they tried to remake him in like the 2023 image, he'd be really broken.
They have
Um,
purposely like not tuned him very much over the past few years, just because when he is good, no one else gets to play
Yep.
the game. And
Wow,
it's
he's
really
just
hard.
that suffocating.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty suffocating.
And
when he's good.
similarly,
It means that everyone is buying like anti-heal on the enemy team, and then they're delaying their builds, and it's ridiculous.
yeah, and then similarly, Rise, one of the original characters, the character
Rise is
that
a great one.
Faker is most well known for playing,
Yeah.
has gone through 4 or 5 different reworks.
Now,
Uh,
is that like an extreme amount for a character, or is
Yes.
can
Most
a character see
characters
like
have
1 or 2?
most characters have had 0 reworks.
Okay.
There's maybe a pool of 30 that have had 1 rework, and that's
And
about
then
it.
you can expand that a little bit to champions that have had like mini reworks
Yeah, mini
that don't like
reworks.
count. There are a lot of
Mhm.
champions that have had like mini reworks. I would say
Like
that
small adjustments
Small
and like patch
adjustments, like
notes.
one ability has been changed,
Okay.
but like overhauls where like they changed everything. There's been about 20 or 30.
if I had to guess, I would think that probably half the champions in the game they have fundamentally changed at least one part of their kit, but major reworks are probably like 1/6 of them or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty-
Rise has been changed like 5 times because every
Mhm.
single way, every single time they change him, people find ways to be oppressive on the character, and he just has like too much raw output, and
Yeah.
then they change him, and then he has no raw output, and he's not played at all.
They just can't find a middle
They
ground
can't
with
find
him.
a middle ground. I think he's actually in an okay spot now. I think the only reason he
fine.
isn't played is just because some of
He's
the other
hard.
characters in the meta overcrowd his role. But yeah, that character got reworked like every year for like 4 years or something, and they could never figure out how to keep him like playable, where he either wasn't useless or way too good.
Yeah. Weird.
And then also a lot of times what it is like play at different levels, like Rise, like everyone. If you picked the old Rise, if you picked him up in like Silver, you wouldn't do anything. But Faker is just killing everyone in Worlds Finals with it.
I've had a few characters like that.
Yeah, for sure. There's been a lot of them.
Azir,
Yes,
Kalista was like
Azir
that
is
for a
the big
while.
one. The other champion I wanted to bring up in response to your "Do they ever delete champions from the game?" question is
Yeah.
Yuumi.
Yuumi.
If they ever did delete a champion from the
It would
game,
be-
it surely would have been Yuumi because I don't think there is anybody who likes Yuumi. The concept of Yuumi is that she's a support that your main goal is you go on you pick another character on your team and you go untargetable on them
Okay.
and you just give them buffs. So you don't even have to move.
I think
You
I've
just
I think
press
I've heard about
buttons.
her. Yeah.
She's
Yes.
a little cat that flies around on a book. You cannot hit her if she is buffing one of her teammates. She can stay on them an indefinite amount of time. Her whole gameplay is designed around
That
never
sounds
leaving a teammate.
Broken.
It's very
And yeah, and she was like 98 or 99% pick banned at Worlds like 2 years in a row.
Mhm.
They've made a lot of changes to her,
Yeah.
and
They
None of
people
them have worked.
outright hate. Oh yeah, but also people have been saying, oh, if you need to change this champion, you can't let her be untargetable.
it's anti-fun to play.
It's anti-fun to play against. There's no counterplay, and then
She's
Riot's
better
like,
than a lot of supports and
Yep.
the easiest champion of the game.
and
Yeah.
then Riot's like, we heard you. We will rework her. She will stop healing and do shielding, and she will still be untargetable on them.
Yeah. It doesn't.
That's
sound like they
basically
listen very well.
yeah,
huh?
and it's just like, bro, what? Like, I don't.
And it's
So we got
Hey.
some Yuumi haters in
Yeah.
here
Oh,
too.
Oh,
everyone
pretty
hates
much
Yuumi.
everyone
everyone's
hates
a hater.
Yuumi. If you're a Yuumi main, or like, is there such a thing as a Yuumi main?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a
Yes.
Yuumi main, do you just join a game and get flamed immediately,
Um,
or is it, or are you guys a bit more civil in the league? Because
Um,
if that were in CS,
it depends. If you're on EUS, maybe.
Yeah, if you're on EU, maybe, because EU is incredibly toxic.
Okay.
But yeah, the champion just super oppressive, and it got played in ways the developers didn't expect. You were supposed
Yes.
to play around like, I guess the CS equivalent would be like your AWP, like your character who's a glass cannon. Your
Yeah.
AD carry is like a glass cannon who does a lot of damage. They're ranged, but they
Mhm.
don't have a lot of health. So
Okay.
healing and shielding them would be very good. Except for the issue is these characters take a while to scale into the game and be useful. They're
Yeah.
usually more useful at the 20 or 30-minute mark. But people found that if you just put Yuumi on like your jungler or your top laner who's playing a very early game, like aggressive character,
yeah,
these characters that often already had issues like being contained in the
Mhm.
early game just because they were better in the first like 10-15 minutes were now unstoppable. And you could just run away with games and there was nothing you could do to stop her from interacting with her team.
Yuumi was so meta warping when she came out that people started playing Garen Yuumi bot lane when she came
And
out.
Garen
and they started.
is not
Yeah.
that
Garen is
character's-
not a
That just
ranged
sounds-
character. You should play that, and you should get completely harassed to death by the other ranged characters in the bot lane and have no chance of playing the game. But Yuumi will just jump
that
on Garen.
combination just
Garen just walks into them and then spins on them and kills them. And it's just like, what the you do? He's
Yeah,
invincible.
very
Like,
rage-inducing.
Every
Yeah.
other support, you can prevent them from supporting their team by
Yeah.
killing them, cutting them off. Like
Yes.
there's ways to play around it. There is no way to stop Yumi from interacting with her team.
Dang.
If another
Yeah,
support
it's
walks
just
too
that's-
close to heal or shield, you can just hit
yes,
them and
you can
kill them.
The
Mhm.
counterplay for a lot of other
supports
supports
have
is
very
just killing
little
them.
health.
I'm gonna have to steer us off the
yes.
Yumi conversation. We got a little bit off track, but hey, that's the point of the podcast, right?
True.
But I can tell you guys have very strong opinions on Yumi, and I
Yeah.
guess the majority of the player base do
Not
too.
a fan.
I was gonna ask you guys what the one thing you hate about League was. I think we kind of covered that a little bit, but we can get into that a little bit later. What's the let's do the juxtaposition. What's the one thing that you love about League? What brings you back into the game? What brings you back into that launcher every single time you load it up? Beau, you want to start?
Yep.
I think I have two things. I think the biggest one for me is our pro scene. I think League struggles with like its secondary and tertiary leagues,
Mhm.
but there is. I've watched CS for many years. I've watched like BlizzCon and the Blizzard World Championships and whatnot. But like there is no greater time of the year than World's year, or like World season.
It's like a celebration.
We get an entire month of
Yep.
nothing but League
Dang.
from all over the world. We all get to play each other. The best environments, best crowds.
Mhm.
This year kind of sucks because it's in Korea, so we don't really get to watch it.
We can't do our watch
but
party because
Oh,
the
okay.
matches start
Yeah.
at like 3 or 4 in the morning here
Oh,
on the
yeah.
East Coast. But there is nothing more exciting to me than seeing all these players.
Yep.
It's like the World Cup, except for we get it every year.
Mhm.
And this is not to like to talk down on Counter Strike, but like you can win a major 4 times a year. In League, you have 1 shot per year, and
That's the one that matters.
That is the
always
one.
so
That's
hype.
all
It's
that
the Super
matters.
Bowl League of
And
Legends.
if you lose one series, you're out. Like
Yeah.
it's cutthroat, and it's the greatest experience ever.
I will slightly correct you. Majors are 2 times a year for
Oh, they're
CS,
2
but
years
the
now?
sentiment is still there. It's like that is your creme de la creme tournament.
Mhm.
Majors still, that's what every player aspires to get. But you have 2 chances a year, every year. It comes around.
CS:GO, I would say like there's pros and cons. The CS:GO like has like other smaller tournaments on top of that, but the
Mhm.
way
Oh yeah.
but the way League of Legends works with the way Riot's like esports system is like you have like a league that you're competing in for a spring and then a summer split, potentially a third split with how they're restructuring it next year.
Yeah.
But so there's not like many international tournaments. There's only like 2 a year. So when
And one of them's not really a big.
yeah,
international,
the
a
one
small
it's like a
international.
mid
What,
it's
like
like
the
a
MSI International?
the
yes,
Something
it's
like that?
MSL.
Okay.
It's MSI and like they had like 2 teams from each.
Now,
region, so
I've
it's, like,
always wanted to ask, is that like the MSI, like the computer company sponsoring it, or is
No.
it just something else?
They
Like
called
stands
it
for
mid-seasonal?
Invitational.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Weird. Well, I mean, it seemed I don't hear much about like the lower echelons of the lead
Yeah,
scene,
we
like
have
you
a
guys
big
were
issue
saying.
with it
but
outside of Europe.
But it sounds like you guys have higher peaks than a lot of the other esports, just
Oh,
because
yeah.
the best of the best and the best crowds, like you were saying. It sounds. I mean, I'm not a league player, as you know, but it sounds like you
Mhm.
guys really have one of the best,
Yeah.
if not
Yeah.
communities in esports.
I would say a lot of people are saying that this game is kind of dying in NA. I think it's
Name a game that isn't dying in
yeah,
NA,
no,
honestly.
that's kind of the thing. Yeah, it's
I think esports in North America is going through a big financial crisis.
Oh, for
Yes,
sure. The
it's
esports
going
I
winter,
think
as some like to say.
Orgs have spent too much money for far too long of free money they've gotten from investors when
Yeah.
the economy was good. And now as investors are like pulling back their money, these orgs are pretty deep underwater.
Yeah.
They aren't
Just
managed.
burning that VC money.
The people that run them don't necessarily know how to run a business, and it's kind of causing
Yep.
some failings.
Mhm.
But other parts of the world are still doing phenomenally. And I mean, I love our pro scene. It's great.
bigger than ever in China and Korea. And
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love-
yeah,
and
that's-
I love some Chinese and Korean League of Legends. They are good.
Oh, I stay up till like 2 a.m. just to watch their games. Their games are always exciting.
There's always hit.
Yeah.
I
They're
know what
always
I
like,
know
they're
what you mean.
crazy.
Let's pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
More to like the community aspect. You're obviously the league manager and you're the graduate assistant. You want to talk to me a little bit through about what your experience has been with just managing. This is your first semester as league manager, correct?
Yeah, so I've been involved before in the past. I
Yeah,
played on
what's
our
been your
teams
experience?
last year. Really good. Our at the beginning of the semester, our North American LCS watch party got way more people than I expected.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah, I think the league's biggest issue in terms of community, both here and globally, is that the casual scene is kind of drying up.
Yeah.
We're not getting as many YouTubers or streamers that are all casual or like they play for fun. League is like you're playing professional or you're not playing at all. There's
That's kind
very
of true.
uh,
I remember back
even
in the
here-
day, there used to be like a lot of like casual like people that like make content. And
Do you
now
think-
I don't really know there? I really don't feel like there's that many.
Do you think that like the sort of negative rep that League has sort of gotten for like being toxic, being really hard to get into, do you think that contributes, or is it just a general
Mm,
it's not doing enough to sort of put itself among like the better, more casual friendly esports out there.
Yeah, so what I'll say on this is I don't think League is any more toxic than any other game, really.
That's fair. It's all about the
every
players.
game, everyone says that every game is toxic.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh man, my community is so toxic. No, I don't think there's a lot of opportunity. A lot of people, like, even if you're playing a normal game, it's still structured just like a competitive match.
Yeah.
There's no changes except for
It's kinda hard
how
to be
you pick or
casual.
bans. So, like, every game, even a normal game, people are trying their hardest and they're trying to play competitive. There is no like Overwatch has quick play. You can play a shorter
Yeah,
match or whatever.
Just to get a feel for the
like
game,
we
sorta.
don't kind of have something like that. Like you have to go big or go home.
Okay, and that can easily turn off a lot of people
Yeah.
who just want to sit
And-
down and
and-
play
Yeah,
30 minutes of League.
I mentioned that I'm like an ARAM warrior. I don't want to sit down and play a Summoner's Rift game because I find that's like a minimum 30-minute time commitment because
Yeah.
you have to queue, then you have to get into champion select, and then you have to load into the game. Someone has a potato computer, so it takes 5 minutes to load in.
Yep.
And then the game takes at least 15 minutes if it's an early surrender, and it can go from like 30 to 45. And so when you put in all that time and then you don't even win the game, it's just like tough.
Yeah, why even?
And
I know
to
what you
add
mean.
on to that, because League is a dynamic game that builds over those 30 minutes,
Mhm.
in Counter Strike you can lose like 3 or 4 rounds early.
Oh, you're
on,
coming back. You can come
but
back
you
easy.
can come
Yes.
back. In League, if you go down 0-4, 0-5,
Yep.
you quite literally
Very
can't play the
different.
game anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
you're
yeah.
just at
it's
the
just
mercy
the momentum
and the,
just
the
keeps
momentum
Yeah, no,
builds.
because what happens is when you get a lead in gold, when you get a lead in League of Legends, your gold goes up, and then you buy more items, and that makes your character stronger, and then
Okay,
that
so
that
it just snowballs
so-
into
yeah,
So
so
I
it
have one
snowballs.
item and then you have 2 items. It's near impossible for me to beat
Yeah.
you unless I had perfect play. And if I'm a newer player or a casual
That's
player,
unreasonable to
Yes.
expect.
it's incredibly unreasonable
Yeah.
to expect. Even of a person who plays with competitive intent and of a higher like rank, it's still nearly impossible for them to make those comebacks.
Hmm.
We
that-
got Dennis Apricot in chat.
Does
asking-
Worlds have a loser? Speaking of Worlds,
Mhm.
I do want to touch on Worlds, so we will get to that in a
yeah,
second.
I would love to.
Yes,
talk about it.
we are running a little bit short on time. We still have to get through the ratings, so we're going to sort of
Okay.
speed through the
Oh,
rest of this.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I just want to ask you, Nick, you've been involved with GMU Esports for how long?
This is my 3rd semester. I started working with GMU Esports in August of 2022.
And my only question for you
Mhm.
will be, what drives you? Like, what makes you get out of bed and work for GMU Esports? What's your favorite thing about our program?
Well, when I started working in esports, I've been like a sports guy my whole life, or since I was like 11 or 12. I
Yeah.
love football, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I love video games, so I went into sport management, and then esports kind of blew up. And I kind of realized that I almost was more passionate about this than like actual sports. I am more passionate.
That was
about
when the switch
esports.
really flipped, and you were like, oh,
Uh,
wait, I can do
Yeah,
this. Yeah,
no, that when I realized that there was like a job opportunity, and then I started getting more into it, I was just like, this is just like exactly what I would have been doing. But
Yep.
like this is with, I felt like it was with my people.
That's the
Because
best. That's
I've
the
been
best
in
feeling.
these sport management classes for like all my like undergrad, and like I like the people I'm in the classes with, but like they're sports people, you know.
Mm.
It's not really like I feel like like I can talk to them. I'm friends with most of them. But it's like they're not the people I would really want to go out of my way to hang out with. But everyone I interact with in the esports program, I love it. It's just like home.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with everyone who comes to the room. I love going to the Smash events and experiencing the community on Friday. I love helping run all the events. I've realized that just helping GMU students like find meaning through gaming is something that I
Oh,
really
absolutely.
care
It's-
about.
yeah. It's really one of the more
'cause-
rewarding parts of your job.
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of like when I was here for my last 3 years of undergrad, it was kind of during COVID, and there wasn't like much happening, so I couldn't really get involved in the esports stuff.
Mm.
But a lot of what I try to do is like provide what I would have liked to have had, like in a community where I could have stepped in and just been like, oh, I love gaming. I want to get to know people, and I feel like I've done a decent job of that. So I've
Well,
been having a lot of fun with it.
As long as you're having fun, I mean, I can personally attest to you're one of the best advisors we have.
Thank
So
you.
you're doing your job well, and it shows,
I
right?
appreciate that, Grayson. You're doing
Um,
great too.
Thanks, man.
Podcast
All
going
yeah,
crazy.
all positivity. The positivity podcast, boys.
Woohoo.
Bo's doing great too.
Yeah.
League went 2-0.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We
Yeah,
did good
honestly,
too,
you guys are undefeated, right?
We are
Yep.
undefeated
Massive
in both of our
props
leagues,
up
and
top.
we're ranked
Yup.
third. Or we were seeded third in NACE in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Up there
Wow.
with Maryville, who's like the most established, or the most winningest league program of all time, is first seed.
Yeah,
St. Clair's is number 2, and we were number 3.
Yep.
So
up there with the big
huge.
boys, huh?
And we're so far performing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
We love to see that. Making GME proud, right?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's pivot a little bit into Worlds. We don't have too much time, but let's get some quick discussion going. One, who do you
Sure.
got winning Worlds?
My heart says Damwon. My brain says KT Rolster. I think KT
Your
Rolster.
brain says KT Rolster?
I think KT Rolster
Here it goes.
wins it as long as they don't run into T1 and
Yeah,
Faker
maybe,
before
man.
finals. I think T1 or KT Rolster just looks phenomenal.
Yep.
I think Aiming and Lehens are great. I think Keen is finally getting his time to shine.
Yep.
I hope he wins. My last thing I'll say is that I hope he does what Khan couldn't,
Yeah.
because him and Khan revolutionized the game, the way the game was played, and nobody talks about it as much as they should.
Yeah.
Nick, what about
Uh,
you?
So I'm a little flip-floppy from him because my heart says KT Rolster.
Oh, wow.
KT Rolster, they ended up third in the Korean League after going 17-1 in the regular season, and every single player on their team won first All-Pro, and then they lost 2 5-game series to T1 in the playoffs, and they look kind of
So
bad.
T1 is still relevant.
Yes,
they're
T1
probably
yes.
the Ord, I guess.
They lost in finals last
Yes.
year. They're still the
They lost
premier
in the
team.
World Finals last year. They have been
Wow.
they have been a premier team. They have not won
remember-
Worlds since 2016,
Yeah.
but they have been a premier
I was about to say I've
top
heard
two,
I've heard
top
that
four
name for a
team,
long
yeah.
they have
time.
they have won very many Korean leagues and etc. But yeah, they were in World Finals last year. They got second in the Korean League in both spring and summer, so they're looking like a potential favorite to do well again at Worlds. But what I think about KT Rolster is I think that they kind of underperformed a bit in the playoffs in those series against T1. Some pretty cocky drafts that they could have taken away some of Faker's champions and done better. But I think that they match up really well into the Chinese teams, and China looks like the strongest region going into this tournament.
Wow.
We haven't seen KT play against any of the Chinese teams.
But stylistically,
We did not mention. So I said my heart says KT Rolster. My brain says JDG. JDG.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I know that name. Yeah.
JDG won the Chinese League in spring. Then they won the mid-season invitational. Then they won the Chinese League again in summer.
Oh, so they're in
Um,
prime position.
if
last-
they win Worlds, they'll be the
yes.
first team to ever,
Yes.
get the
They're
gold
do
good.
crown.
everything.
They're
right?
doing
Yeah.
the Golden Road. That is what they call it. And that's
Wow.
get first in everything possible for the year. So JDG is trying to do it. Last year, they made it to the World Semifinals before losing to T1 with a slightly different roster. They got the best mid laner in China, and they imported the best AD carry from Korea in addition to their top jungle and support, and they've just looked like the best team in the world the whole year. It's like a super team that actually worked. It will be really interesting to see if someone can. They're not like unbeatable. I don't think they've lost a best of 5 all year, but
they've
they've
certainly
gone
lost
they've
games.
they've gone to game 5 in multiple
Yeah.
of them. So
I think Kanavi's like as
Yes.
great as that guy is. I think he's potentially the biggest hole into
he's
their
their
team.
jungler. I agree. He has like some games where he does really good and some games where he's completely throwing
Useless,
anything.
yeah.
So that's something that other teams could potentially capitalize on. But yeah,
Interesting.
JDG is probably going to win Worlds most of the time. But I think KT can win. Gen G is the team that actually won Korea. I think they can win. I think if T1 has a great tournament, they can win. Their players are all super high peak. The top 3 Chinese teams, JDG, and then behind them it's LNG and BLG. I also think that they have a good chance. They're all great rosters with great players. We were talking about how it's like kind of like a World Cup. North America and Europe can't really compete.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
It's-
remember
It's Korea and China. They are. The
they've really
teams.
taken away these past few years.
No,
I gotcha.
they've taken it away kind of always, to be honest. The West has never really been close.
Well, Europe made it to finals twice, but
Yes.
still, outside of those two teams,
That is
Europe
true.
has never. I
Europe
will
has
say,
Europe has made the finals twice, but it's like there were 2 years when Europe had like a group of really good players that like could compete, and they haven't really reached that level again in a couple of years. So it's
Yeah.
still possible, but
Mhm.
like for a team in the West to do well, it would need to be like a super team of really good players all peaking at the same time.
Yeah, the stars would really have to align for that.
last thing
I
about
see what
Worlds
you're
though,
saying.
we have a new format this year. We're
Yes.
doing Swiss
I was
pairings.
going to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of groups, traditionally we've been split into
Mhm.
4 groups, and the top 2 teams in each group make it out.
Okay.
We're switching to Swiss pairings, so it'll be all the O and O teams play,
Yeah.
and then like one and
1
O
and
teams,
0,
whatever.
0 and 1. Yeah, that's
And
how
you have to get a certain
CS does it
amount
for
of-
the
yeah.
majors.
And supposedly the pairing is completely random. Aside from
Not even based on seeding.
it's the pairing is random, but I don't think your first match you
Can
can
be
play
against your own
It can't
country.
be against a team from your own country. But
Okay.
other than that, seeding does not matter at all.
Wow.
So JDG could play Gen G first round of the tournament.
That
Very-
We've always had an issue with seeding in the past because like you're seeded in your region but not internationally.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like China 1 versus Korea 2, but how big is the actual gap there? Or
Yeah,
like
there's no real
Korea
comparison
3
for
and
'em.
North American 1. So like Korea would get the 3rd seed, but the third best team in Korea is probably better than the first
Yeah.
best team in
Always. I
America.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Does that lead to some wacky bracket results? Like, you know,
Yes, it has. It has. The world's format previously was groups, like, and you had 60 teams.
Yeah, Top two out.
Four groups of 4, top 2 out. And those groups were seeded weirdly. A lot of the time, so like sometimes like there were groups of death and groups of life and stuff like that. But what really sucked was how they did like the bracket for after the group stage. They never accounted for like in regional matchups or stuff like that, or they
Yes.
kind of just said, okay,
you're in
we're-
this group, you're in that group.
first place in this group goes against second place in another group, and that's it. So a lot of times we got like same region matchups in round 1. In 2018, the best series of the whole tournament was the world's winning team against the best Korean team.
Yeah.
They beat them 3-2, and then they proceeded to stomp the next 2 teams they played 3-0 in
Wow.
the semifinals and the finals. That was the real finals in the quarters. That's something like that
I
has
know what you're
happened
saying,
a couple
yeah.
of
Yeah,
times.
and there's so many interregional matches. So like we have 8 teams that make it to playoffs. On one half of the bracket where there's 4 teams, last year we had 3 Chinese teams, 1 North American.
Oh, that's
So
just
all the
not fair.
Chinese players had
Yeah.
to beat each other to get to the final.
Yeah.
And the other side was like 1 North American or 1 European and 3 Korean. So
Yep.
like all the Koreans had to beat each other to see what Korean team would go to the
Yep.
finals.
Yeah.
The MS,
Even though, like,
the
the
way
best
they did
team
the
was probably-
MSI, yeah, the way they did the MSI bracket was disastrous because the MSI format was actually good, but like the way the bracket, they just needed to have more safeguards because the way it was literally Korea versus Europe, China versus North America, China versus North America, and
That's-
obviously Korea beat Europe twice and China
Yeah.
beat North America twice. So then it became Korea versus Korea and China versus China. It's like this is an international tournament,
Yeah.
man. We want
We
to
want
see
to
actual
see more
interaction.
international
Yes,
matchups.
Yeah.
we want to see Korean teams play Chinese teams. We want to see North American teams get a lead for 5 minutes against Chinese teams and then lose. Like we want to have a little bit of hope. I want to see
Yeah.
the interesting matchups.
More. I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
CS doesn't have too much of that issue because every roster is more or less
Oh, the
international
CS
now,
major
but
formats are so good. Like
Dude,
they're so good for competition.
the only thing that ruins the major is the seeding. Like it leads to a lot of
Yeah.
upsets, like in the Blast major. But I digress. That's really all the time we got for the Worlds conversation. You guys obviously have a
Yeah.
lot of insight into it. But we're gonna speed a little. I don't want to cut it short, but we have
Are
to.
we
I'm
looking
sorry,
at
boys.
setups?
we talked about
We will be looking
Okay.
at setups. Right now, we're gonna speed run. What is it called?
can I give
Matches and
can I give
results.
one last thing about Worlds?
Yeah, both you-
So
yeah.
it actually started this week. We're in the
I was
play-in.
gonna ask when is the where's the grand finals?
Yeah, so we are in the play-in phase of Worlds right now. I believe we have more matches this morning and Saturday and Sunday morning as well. And then that's going to finish play-ins, and then the Swiss stage of Worlds is going to start with all the
Next week.
teams. The play-ins is like all the wild card regions
Yeah.
and like one
So
European
like
team.
Brazil,
Yeah.
Japan,
Okay.
Philippines, stuff like
Uh,
that.
know what you're saying.
Taiwan,
Yeah, yeah.
Taiwan, Vietnam.
uh,
And we had 3 pentakills
Russia,
already.
but they didn't qualify.
That's what-
Yeah.
you guys were mentioning that.
Slater of Gigabyte Marines, Crowny from BDS, and
Who's the other one? It was it
Root.
Artemis?
It was
No, you're right.
from
It was Root
Loud.
from Loud. Yeah.
all 3 of them we've already had 3 pentakills,
Yeah.
which is like if you play Valorant and CS:GO, it's like one person kills all 5 people on the other team.
Yeah.
Very rarely happens, but it's been super
But yeah.
exciting so far.
Tournament's been fun so far. You said when's grand finals?
Yeah, it's
I
probably a
w-
Sunday,
I
right?
want yes. It will.
It's going to be a Sunday, and I believe it's in
It'll be
Seoul.
for us. It'll be a Saturday night. I think.
Okay.
But it's going to be a Sunday in Seoul. Probably the second week in November. I think it's usually the first week in November, but this year it was pushed back a little bit
Okay.
because
Mecca
of
of
the Asian
esports.
games.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What a
Worlds
Gracie. I wish I could go.
finals.
Hey, just save up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save up. Get your passport ready. You know how it goes.
Whoa.
While he's looking at that, let's get up some match results.
November 19th.
November 19th. Book your calendars. You guys are gonna do a watch party? Oh, probably
We
not because
can't,
it's too
'cause it
late.
starts
Yeah,
at
you
4
yeah, you
a.m.
mentioned. Hey, I mean,
if there's
if-
something we can cook,
you have
we'll cook
interest,
something.
maybe. Well, you can't really watch it back because everyone would know what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I see. What
maybe
you're
I
saying.
we
wouldn't
can
want to
figure
go to a
something
watch
out,
party
but
for a VOD.
Yeah, no, that kills
But
the hype.
match results. Are we going on to match results? You
Yep.
said.
Yes, let's shuffle on along to match results. We're gonna speed through this. You really had to do me dirty putting this first. All right, GMU Patriots, I'll take the lead. This is our CS roster. We kind of fumbled the bag against Fisher College, second seed in our group. don't let the scoreline fool you. It was not as close as it looks. We were down like 7-1 on map 1 and like 9-1 on map
Sheesh.
2. We brought it back, but not enough. The
At least
mental,
you're able to bring it back. Fisher's good.
yeah, Fisher. They had some shooters. That Why Not guy, he really just messed us up. But yeah, Vertigo, and then I think it was Mirage. But GG, it was on the Nace stream. We'll be on Nace stream this tonight actually. So yeah, looking to make revenge. I think we're going against like Flint. Oh yeah, I made that water joke. That guy, everyone laughing, you know. But yeah, so CS, a lot to learn, a lot to take back. We're 3-1 in the season. Let's move along.
Cool.
This is League of Legends. Take it away.
Yeah, this is. I can't read the text. Oh yes, this is our first game from Tuesday. This is versus Grand Valley State University Blue. Yeah, I mean we dominant both games. Wasn't really ever close. I think the first game we kind of trolled around a little bit and got off to a slow start, but we were in the driver's seat the whole time. We're just playing phenomenally.
Yeah, you love to see that. So that's what.
That was
That's the
our-
Patriots.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Patriots.
Cool,
That was our
cool.
first game. We play 2 games a week. So
Mason Nace, right?
No, we played 2 NACE games and 1 MAEC.
Oh,
So we
okay.
Yeah, because
actually
they
played
started
3
kind of
games.
late. The League Nace format's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was
We
gonna
started
say
in
you guys started in,
October,
like,
but we
yeah.
played 2 games a week.
Okay, well at least you'll speed
This
through
is the second
season.
game. This was actually last night. This was even close, or these were not even close. Like these were even more blowouts. We beat Drexel. Played phenomenally. I think our
played
top
great.
laner Joni has 6 solo kills so far in 4
Wow.
games.
Yeah,
He's just playing phenomenally.
You
Our
guys are
support-
cracked.
our Support
Yeah.
Ronan, he's playing phenomenally as well. The team is good spirits. They're having fun.
Hey, that's what matters at the end of the day, right?
They're doing great right now.
Congratulations. Look forward to the rest of the strong season. Let's keep on moving. What do we got next for you? Overwatch 2. Looks like
Yeah.
we lost our Patriots
They
against, what is that,
did.
BSC? That's Boulder
Yes,
State or something?
Apparently,
That's,
this is like one of the best
It's
teams.
Bryant and Stratton.
Bryant and
they
Stratton.
won the MAEC for Overwatch.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All like top 500s. Okay, what are you going to do?
They are very, very, very good.
Well, no
I was
shame.
talking to Ian in
Yeah.
the room before they played there. Ian is Ibinks. He's the captain of the
Yep.
Patriots team, if you didn't know. And what he said to me was, "We'll do our best," or something like that.
It
He
doesn't
did
look-
not seem confident, but I mean, these guys. What can you do? I
Yeah,
mean,
some
if
teams-
They're the
they-
best team
it
in the
looks like
country.
They
they
put up
got
a fight.
They won some rounds, like
They
which is
like,
nice.
increasingly got better
Yes.
as time went on.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Mhm.
GG go Nets, right? 3-2
Yeah,
on game
no.
3. First 2 games, a little bit
Overwatch
to take
Patriots
home.
are still doing really well overall, but
It's
yeah,
just when you're going.
I think
it's
that was.
so.
I think that's their hardest opponent in their conference.
agree.
So
Put it on a good showing. I didn't watch the stream, but I'm sure that they're at least semi proud of their results, and we look forward to
They
the
looked
next game, right?
competitive.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a blowout. That's all you can ask for
it
against a
does
team
not
like that.
appear that it was a blowout. Yeah.
Let's keep on moving along. Valorant taking. Wow, it's 13-2.
Not even
Yeah,
close.
they
Nah,
cooked 'em.
that's good.
Nah,
Let's go
I was
Valorant.
watching that. They cooked them. It was
Yeah.
pretty,
That's
but I did see the one thing I remember from that match was we had the spike planted. We were up 5-1 one round, and then our goat Lo-Fi
Yeah.
ran in and tried to make it an ace, and then just got capped by the other guy and lost his gun.
Hey, when the ego and the confidence is flowing through you, man, there's nothing you
he
can do.
was feeling himself. He was
Yeah.
feeling. I was like, "Damn, Joe."
That's when you know like you're in the right mindset for it,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes I will say it's not the best, but some players I feel like they just need to keep themselves entertained when they're playing against players
Oh,
they know
totally.
they're better than.
Yeah.
So
It's like see what really can you do on the server, right?
yeah.
Well, congratulations, Valorant.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you guys
Easy
know
dub.
now. I hope you guys are cool with staying a little bit later than
Oh, no,
anticipated.
good,
Just I
yeah.
figured you guys weren't going anywhere, but we are running a little bit late, but that's no big deal. We got plenty of time to work with.
Wow.
Congratulations, Valorant. We look forward to your next match, and let's go to the next and final. Call of Duty. That's not looking too hot. I do know a little bit of silver lining on this. They were having that was the PC issues match
Yes.
where they complained about performance. That's
Yes, we
there's
have
only
some
so much you
PC
can take away from
issues.
this score, but there
Also
is.
St.
19
Clair's-
19 points in hardpoint. Let's go.
St. Clair's is also a top school in a
Yes.
lot of esports.
Yeah,
I know
they-
they're very good in League 2. They
they
have
have a
like,
lot of
full
money to work
scholarships.
with.
So
Yeah.
from what I heard, this team is phenomenal. I mean, you can
They're
just look
cracked.
at the ranks.
Yeah,
They're all
Air
top
doesn't.
ranked, right? I think that's the top rank in COD.
I
I
don't
would
think so.
imagine. I don't know. I
But,
don't know COD ranks.
But yeah, they're St. Clair's is very good. So I
Yeah.
don't this doesn't surprise me at all.
They are super good.
Hey, it happens. You know, they are. I think they still have a winning record for the season, so we aren't going to complain too much about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
we're looking forward to
GG's
the
squad.
rest of a successful season for them.
I remember they also had like a doubleheader. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're always rescheduling. I'm always getting these emails in my inboxes. You know, a
Yeah, bro,
reschedule has been
that's-
requested. Like
that if you're competing in collegiate esports, man, that's how
it's
it is.
the lifestyle.
We don't reschedule in league.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys have a no.
We don't reschedule within 24 hours of the match, and a lot of any team that's reached out so far has done it within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I've had to politely decline. But I think we will be rescheduling one this week per chance.
I hope that goes
We
well
will
for you,
always
man.
reschedule if you give us over a week notice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If
That
it's more
was-
than a week, I'll do my best I can to accommodate.
Yeah, exactly. There, I mean, there's no harm in just playing a game. You know, just make sure the
Oh,
game
yeah.
gets played. But you know, there are circumstances outside of our control. Is that all the matches we wanted to cover, Mr. Producer? Sweet, fellas, are you ready to rate some setups?
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited.
I have
Yes,
been looking
let's
forward to
go.
this.
I
we
love
have
doing this.
we have I think a total of eight submissions.
Okay.
I know whose this is. I'm imagining you guys know whose this is as
I'm-
well.
I think I know.
I think I know who this is.
So right off the bat, what are you guys feeling? What are some first thoughts that come to mind?
Big Valorant enjoyer.
I like
Yeah.
the flower motif. The
flower
photo,
Very-
the
very
flower in the
good.
back, the
It's-
flower desk mat, the
It
flowers
feels
wallpaper.
like everything on the desk and in the picture has a reason, like has a
Yes.
purpose
Yeah.
there, right? I really like the theme. You can tell it's a gamer girl, but I
Yep.
mean, power to you. That's a really nice keyboard, actually. I
Yes.
fucked with the keyboard. That's my
That's
one
the
F bomb. And then the brimstone. What is that? Like a LED
It's like
thing?
a little LED sign. I'm not huge on the LED sign on the desk.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of mouse space.
Not
I'll be
a lot.
honest.
Yeah.
And the flower. I don't
I
know if
respect
that's.
the headphones with the Razer
I
headphones,
was-
the cat
Yeah,
ears.
those-
I was,
those
go-
go
I
hard.
was going
Those
to
go
say.
hard.
My
I
girlfriend has
don't know.
those. She
What
won't
were
put
you
the
gonna
cat
say?
ears on.
Yeah.
I was maybe going to dock some points for the cat ear.
I
headphones.
will. I
No,
will
I
dock
respect
some
it.
points. That's.
I respect
What is
it.
that? A McDonald's cup. You know,
that's,
minus
oh,
rep.
that's
You gotta be
the,
keeping
that's
it.
the Big Man Oak Classic.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe that I take away from the setup,
Yeah.
and this is just like a me with room things in particular, I don't like posters on the wall that aren't like framed, especially when I can see the edges coming up. I take
Yeah.
negative points for that. I hate it. It makes
Webcam.
me
I
feel-
don't mind
Webcam
that.
could use an
I kind
upgrade.
of like having like a collage of like
Yeah.
prints on the wall. I kind of have something similar. I will say the main thing I would dock points for on this setup is it's kind of monocolor. I'm
Yeah,
down.
not a lot
I'm
of
down. I
contrast.
understand. I understand that it's all pink. I would like to throw some like purple in there or something. You know.
Yeah,
as
get
well.
get a bit more variety in
Get
there.
a little more variety.
A little bit more
while
for the
keeping
eyes to
same
latch onto,
vibe.
right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of training in graphic design, as you all know, so I can confidently say that a little bit too much pink, but at least there's a theme with
Yep.
it, right?
I respect the theme. I'm giving
No,
this
yeah.
like a
So
like an
yeah,
7
let's
out of
do,
10.
Let's do it. Yeah, out of 10. What do you give it?
giving it like a 8.5. I think 8.
Okay.
Okay, you got a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
I think I'll be a meat writer here. I'll give it a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5 out of 10. Good. Room for improvement. All right, let's move on.
I thought you guys rated that kind of harshly.
Okay, off the
Alright,
bat,
This is
What-
this is a dorm room setup.
Yeah, you can tell with the desk.
immediately.
honestly, I
what's up with
don't.
those? What's up with the colors on the?
I really like that.
on the
That's
keyboard.
some custom keycaps there.
Yeah, interesting.
I want to know what switches that are. Was there any notes with this one? Just no. Okay.
Nice mouse pad. Is that an audio splitter that he has stuff? Plugged
Yeah,
into
yeah.
on the
I'm not.
right?
I'm not
some
too familiar, but
serious
it looks like a
audio work
DAC.
going
Looks
on
like
over
he's
there.
got a Gundam on the left and a Mimikyu on the right, like
That's
that.
That's someone's like passion right there. Like that. It's not flashy, but they love sitting at that desk.
No,
You know.
no, this is nice. This is like
I like the desktop.
it could be a bit cleaner.
I will.
I
Yeah.
I
Now, see-
dock like 3 whole points for it being not as clean. But I think that like this is a nice desk that I like to sit at. He's got a nice mouse pad, got some cool things
Plus
in front
points
of it.
for the ergonomic wrist rest.
Yes.
Wrist
Yes.
rest on the keyboard. That
Yes.
goes hard.
Yes.
Yeah, so like my biggest complaint here is that like I like the theme. I like the black and white monochrome. I think it fits really well with like the audio splitter and the silver. But then I feel like there's kind of a clash with the desk pad, like or
Yeah.
the mouse pad is just the color.
You can argue that you want a splash of color, but that's just a
I
lot
I
going
think
on.
it's not only as a splash of color, but I think it also like kind of is a different style of everything else. So I think that it kind of clashes a little for me. It's like the if you look at just like the keyboard and the mouse pad,
Yeah.
I'm getting like a Paper Mario.
I
Kind
was
of
I was
vibe,
just thinking that.
and then
Yeah.
I look at the top half and I'm like, okay, this is like a producer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
a
there's
little-
a kind of a disconnect there.
a little bit of a disconnect there. I can
So
see
out
that.
of 10, any final thoughts on this? Anything you guys want to say?
I would give this like a 6.5 out of.
Yeah,
7.
I was thinking
I'm
solid
thinking a
6 for me.
I think
yeah.
it's a solid 6.
I'm giving him a little credit because I think it's kind of hard to cook on these dorm tables.
that is true, and
Um,
it's not like you have a lot of room to work with, like for speakers or for more things.
Although
if you had
Kara
more
was
desks,
kind of working with one too, and hers was good. But
yeah, maybe room for organization, but I mess
mouse
with
pad
I mess
is the biggest, like
yeah.
not a red flag, but like if that was like fit more in the color scheme, I would move this up to like an 8 easily.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's just a little bit too much going on the
Yeah.
eyes, right? Well, sweet. Congratulations to whoever has this desk. You officially have the lowest score so far.
Oh, is
We'll
that-
see if
that's
anyone
Sin.
beats
Oh,
it.
that's Sin. Let's go, Sin. I saw the.
Who's that?
That's my boy.
Oh, Sin? I don't know them, but
Smash player.
oh, power to you, Smash player.
If it's who I think it is.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the mic's a bit out of frame. That's a suspicious
that-
position
no,
for the
it goes
mic
hard,
right
That,
goes
there.
that
hard,
is
goes hard.
quite a big mic for
Yeah.
a dorm desktop, but I
A
respect
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
What's that
Hey,
actually
when
look like?
there's a will, there's a way, right? Let's do it. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Oh, I know who this is. I know who this guy is. I don't want to rate him. He's a bot. No, that's a pretty sick desk. As
got
far
the
as I know.
LEDs.
He's a laptop gamer.
He's a
Ooh.
laptop.
He is a laptop gamer.
Oh, yo, he is a lot. All right, you have to dock like some points for
That's
that.
that's
immediately,
automatically
right?
-2.
Dude
I-
has 2 monitors and a laptop.
I will say I have my monitors in the exact same configuration with a main
That's
one
fine.
and then a one on the left vertical. So I messed with that. The keyboard, he's missing T taps on his keyboard.
Ain't
So
no
he just
way.
has holes
Aiden,
on his
can you
keyboard.
Zoom in? Can we see that?
Yeah, I promise you. The mic, yeah, see right there. You can see he's like missing like his right alt.
Bro is missing his
Yeah.
right alt. Yeah.
He's got the vape out in the middle there. We
Oh,
got-
yo, no, you got the.
I mean, I like the lighting and I like the mirror. That's a very like
You got the Febreze.
Yeah.
Where's the
cable
where's the
management.
toilet paper roll? That's like
Oh.
the last
The
piece.
toilet
of
paper
cable
roll, the
management.
lotion, you know.
A little over the
The
place.
lotion, yeah.
the chair. I got a dot points. That's not very ergonomic.
It's an office chair. It looks like, right? It's
So-
not bad.
So the critique I'm giving here,
Yeah,
is
what are you
I'm
thinking?
very anti those hexagon lights or whatever the hexagons are in the
I
background.
think those are mirrors, but yeah.
No, I see the hexagons everywhere on gaming setups. I don't dig them, or octagons, whatever they. I think they're hexagons.
Hey, Chris.
I think the table looks more like a kitchen table than it does like a gaming table. It's
Yeah.
also a little like it doesn't have heft to
Where's
it.
the drawers?
But I mean,
Where
I
they
like
at?
I love the monitor setups. I'm jealous. I wish I had a stand for my second monitor
Yeah.
that could go sideways.
And I will say the fact that the desk or the monitors are mounted to the desk,
Yeah.
that is plus rep
I
right
love everything about like the actual keyboard and the mic and the
Mic, headset, mouse, the
yeah,
whole
like,
9 yards.
all that stuff looks great. It's just the hexagons, the cable management, and you got to get a different table.
there. Yeah, and maybe a PC. You know,
And
you
maybe
can't,
actually
yeah,
a
you
PC,
can't run
yeah.
on a laptop forever.
Yeah.
Final verdict. What are we giving this?
This is
7
like
out of 10.
a
Good aesthetic.
5.
Really?
It's a 5. I love the monitors, but you can't just put 2 monitors on a table and say like, yeah, this is a setup.
Yeah,
I can
I'm gonna
mess
say
with
I'm
that.
gonna say this is a 7 out of 10 because I'm not an LED fan normally, but
Yeah.
I kind of like the LED lights in this
As-
room. I think they're cool. I'm docking him points for not having a PC, for missing
Oh, yeah,
missing
and he's
his
missing
right
keycaps
alt,
and
Yeah.
stuff. I think a 5 is
missing
completely fair.
missing
Yeah.
his right alt, and like the Febreze and stuff
See,
on the left.
I'm gonna have
I'm
to agree with
docking
you
points
there.
for that.
I'll
yeah.
probably go with like a solid 7, maybe 7.2, because his keyboard does feel pretty nice. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I don't have too much to add.
Dude
the mic,
said
the mic.
7.2.
If you're a CS player and you don't have that much mouse space, why are you putting your mic on your desk? It's surely you're not gonna be like with your mouse like on your chest every now and then. But like, come on, it's all about the continuity. Like, just get a mic arm, man. There's
yeah.
plenty of room there on the left to just mount it. Well, congratulations. I always say congratulations. Thanks for submitting, by the way. He'll be here tonight to play his match. But let's move on to the next
Oh, yeah,
desk.
tofu, man.
5 out of 10.
Fine. This is pretty zoomed in. I don't really have much to work with.
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
That is a small
That
mouse
is
pad,
that's a
bro.
small
You're not-
mouse
That
pad. It's
is
a
a
small desk.
small
It's a
mouse.
very
Nice.
tiny desk. He's playing in a closet.
yeah,
He is
seriously.
for as far as closet setups go. This has got to
I
be
mean,
like
yeah.
a 7 out of 10.
Like,
I feel like you
I-
can't do
yeah.
much better than
For
this
what
a
he's
closet.
working with, like
Yeah. Tactical fan.
Yeah, I
Gotta
see the
respect
fan.
that.
He is a nice mic. That's like a HyperX one. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's the
the
quadcast or
keyboard,
something,
I
right?
can't really tell it out.
It looks like a razor.
It looks like a razor.
They're
Oh,
from
then-
5
Oh.
below.
Okay, never mind that.
That's
his
docking
score is
another
getting
point
a
right
5
there.
or below.
I gotta
That's
say,
crazy.
I can understand the choice of desktop background, but it just doesn't go with any, like, you know, it's something that you like to put up, but if you're going
Yeah.
for like sleek battle station, you're going for a nice aesthetic, it just doesn't fit
He's
in.
kind of got like the light,
And the cables,
the
man,
brighter light in the
cables.
Yeah, the
background.
cables, you gotta do
the
something about
the
that.
cable. Yeah, no, the cables are
Like
He
bad.
plays with IEMs too. Look at that. Those are
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
earbuds, not even a headset.
Like the keyboard is like sitting on cables. It's not sitting on solid ground. It's like laying on the cables, and it's
Plus
tofu.
points for a webcam. You can't not have a webcam in 2023,
Yeah.
but 4.5.
5.
I'm giving tofu a 4.
Yeah.
Dude,
4.5.
You want us to rate your
I mean,
PC? You want
Rate
us
your
to rate your
PC.
PC too?
That's at least
All right,
better
he's got
than
a
the
Core
desk.
Master.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what graphics card that is? That looks like it's protruding pretty. 3070. Okay.
Okay.
It's got the RGB.
Alright.
It's,
I'd give the
kinda
PC a 6.5.
I mean, it's just a PC. Like,
Yeah.
it's kinda
How
what
much
mine
is that?
looks
4
like.
sticks of RAM?
He has.
Yeah, it's 4
He's
sticks
got
of
4
RAM.
sticks of RAM. He's got a lot of cooling.
I like the cable mod cables. That he
Yeah.
needs cables
His
for the
cables
GPU.
are much cleaner than mine are.
Yeah.
I will give him
Yeah.
that. And his cables look much better than they do on his desk.
I'll
the,
say
the
that
cables in the computer are much more.
I'll say this is
organized.
a 7 out of 10.
The
PC.
NZXT
It's like a 7.
The
yeah.
NZXT case is kind of like a cheat code to making a PC look good, so I'll have
Yeah.
to give it a 6.5.
Yeah.
Room for improvement. Put your CPU on water, dude. I don't even know what it is, but
Put
it
your
needs to be
little
on
water.
water. If you don't have an AIO, get out of my face. I'm a hater. All right, let's move on.
I need
Congratulations,
to get on
Tofu.
that meta. All right, this is next.
All right,
Oh, we got the peanut butter set up.
that's kind of hard,
The
honestly.
peanut butter goes up. We
Tactical
got
snacks.
another 2 monitor, 1 laptop setup.
Yeah, that's a
That's
really
a
nice
Switch
mouse
Pro
pad.
This is
controller.
a desk and a dresser from the dorm room.
That's smart.
Yo,
Yeah,
no,
it's
that's
like-
the
it's like a double
expansion.
desk.
I kind of like what you're going for here.
Yeah. I don't think the monitors are angled optimally. I think
That-
I
that
messed
is
with the
really
wireless
tall.
mouse.
Yeah.
They have a laptop set up too. Are they a laptop gamer?
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah, they got
That's
it. They
sad.
got
I know
it.
they are on the Splatoon team. They got their Switch.
So
Pro
where's
controller
the
right there.
Switch?
Behind.
Oh,
the
okay,
monitor, got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tactical stick of deodorant. Nose.
Yup.
There's
nose
also,
Yup.
also a Q-tip on the desk.
No, that's not a Q-tip. I think that's the adapter.
Oh, it is an
Yeah,
adapter.
Oh
that-
yeah,
that's
that's like
the-
a dongle for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
iPhone.
Why is the mouse pad hanging off the front? That's.
Oh, I didn't
that's
even
driving me
realize that was a
nuts.
mouse pad.
The,
That,
the mouse
What do
pad
you
is
think
like
it was?
hanging off.
I
the
don't know.
table.
I just thought it was like a poster.
Surely we can put it like sideways because we have such a long.
No, but
desk
then the
space.
character on the mouse pad wouldn't be staring into your eyes
I
when you're
would've put-
playing, your games. The
I
extra motivation.
I would have put it sideways anyway.
I think I would've put it
Actually, if you put it
sideways.
sideways and the head's on the left, then you can look
Oh,
straight
true.
down into it.
I know some CS players do it where it just hangs off. I won't dot points for hanging it off because I get it, but just
No, it's
the
a
ov-
dorm setup.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
overall
what can
the
you do?
overall vibe I'm getting
There's a
is
fight
like
box, or
messy
there's a
but
fight
comfy.
stick.
You know.
Yeah. Also, I would like some posters or something. The walls
Yeah.
are bare. They're white.
Little
They're
bare.
staring into my soul. They're making me sad.
Man, just take a trip to IKEA, get something.
You can run to like Walmart.
Walmart,
and get,
Target,
like, $5
IKEA.
posters.
Nice
Five
keyboard.
below, take a page out of the Tofu's book,
Yeah.
right? There, you'll find something. All right, what's the verdict on this, fellas?
Giving it a 5. I think it's like
5.5.
middle of the road. Like it's for a dorm setup. I totally get it.
Yep.
But like it doesn't do anything for me.
Could
I'm
go
a bit
farther.
torn. I get it.
Could be a bit clear.
I'll do
I will.
6.3.
I will say, like when you have
6.3.
peanut butter and deodorant
6.3.
on the table, I'm like, all right,
Plus
bro
rep.
got the peanut butter, but
He's
I am
comfy.
I am docking you 1 point.
Now, I want to know: does he have a utensil for the peanut butter, or is he just dipping his
It's the
crackers in?
dongle. It's right
The
there.
dongle.
the
How did I
dongle.
forget? Yeah, tactical peanut butter dongle. How did I know? Oh, the AirPods Pro. I like that too. All right, so 6.3, 5.
I said 5.
You said 5. All right. Room for improvement.
All right.
Maybe get a better
Oh,
stick of
yes.
deodorant.
Zane is up next.
Can we get like a drum roll to Huskies, please? And Huskies desk.
Oh,
Okay.
I
this,
like
I'm
his
pleasantly
desk.
surprised.
this guy always outs himself with the Persona merch, dude. He does it every time. It's insane.
I can go off on how Persona 4 is better than Persona 5, but like
shut
I
up.
like the I can't tell is that a cube for the case? Like it looks
It,
thicker
it
than
looks
Yeah,
like it
what
looks
is
like one of
that?
the, it's either a thermal take or cooler master, I think.
That is.
Is there any
I
cool.
like the
specification?
speakers.
I do like that.
Where do you
underneath
see the
monitor.
speakers?
I
Oh,
like
yeah,
his.
yeah, yeah.
I like his pinwall.
He has a
Yeah.
little plant. We've
A lot of
finally some green.
A
some
lot of
life.
personality in this desk.
This is definitely
Very
the best setup
cozy.
we have
This
seen
feels
so
very
far.
cozy.
It feels like he's on campus and he looks forward to getting home to sit at the setup. You know,
This is at least an 8.5.
Yeah, like this
Is
is,
that-
like a meditation space.
is that a stream deck underneath the
yes.
monitor?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
I didn't think you.
And that's his Switch Pro controller on the left.
Oh, okay. What mouse is that? Can we tell? That looks like a glorious.
I want to say that's. I feel like there's a
can't
Steel
tell.
Series mouse that I bought my brother. That's kind of like the
Okay.
same deal, but
Nice
it looks like
headset.
that could be like any brand.
Plus points for the mouse pad. That's a really
Yeah.
nice mouse pad. It fits the theme well. You know.
Yeah, nice black
Um,
mouse pad.
I like the
he's
keyboard.
big on his keyboard. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he's
love the plants. I think the
The
plants.
plant
are
definitely
perfect.
adds a lot.
There's
Yeah.
two. There's one on each corner.
Oh, I didn't even notice. And the switch, of course, so you can have easy access. I
Yeah.
bet that's plugged into the monitor so you can just easily switch it around. I'm giving this a 9, honestly.
I'm
I
giving it- I'm
really
giving it a
like the
9.5.
setup.
I
I'm
think
giving-
it deserves a 9.5.
I'm giving this a 9. I'm docking a point for the anime on the PC
Yeah,
case.
Not a perfect 10 out of 10. I like the posters, and they
Yes.
are framed. So
Yeah,
so
the
yep.
frames really
Yes.
make me happy.
His pinwall is really
Yeah,
cool.
pinwall
I've
is
never
a lot
seen
of
anyone do
personality
that.
there.
That's really
This
smart.
is pretty creative.
Yeah.
And can we zoom into the CPU? That's on water. That's on water, boys. That's an NZXT
That's on
cooler.
water. That's on water.
That's my boy. That's my advisor right there. All right, we got one more setup.
Let's
I
go,
think we got
Hussein.
to.
Nice setup, bro.
Same as the GMU Esports monitors.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, those are literally the exact same.
I wonder where he got them. We got
Hmm.
any missing monitors, fellas?
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, yeah,
know.
really. We'll open an audit onto this guy. All right, well, congrats, Husky. You're actually the top rated here. Let's see if Mr. Deuce of Diamonds can
go,
take it
Deuce.
away. All right.
All
You
right.
know, laptop gaming plus rep. The headset, I messed with the headset.
I like the headset.
You know, I actually like this a lot. This is
I like the
I
window.
like that he's right. Oops, sorry. I
No,
like
you're
that
good.
he's right in front of the window.
Mhm.
Got the laptop set up. Got the Dell monitor. This is a budget setup. He's not. You can. It
He's-
doesn't seem like much of a PC gamer. I know he's the Splatoon game.
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Got the Switch set up, but he's got a gaming laptop there as well.
I would have wished to move the laptop to the left a bit more and a bigger mouse pad. Now, of course, if he's not a
Yeah.
PC gamer, that's not that big of
Yeah,
a deal.
not a big deal. I was thinking the same thing. A little bigger mouse pad would be
Yeah.
nice, but I'm sure that's probably not
I
a
like the
huge deal
GameCube
for him.
controller.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I
definitely
like the
plus
window.
plus rep there.
You know, some
Yeah.
sunlight.
Yes.
Is that the first desk
Yeah.
we've seen that has
First
so many
sunlight?
of them have been like a pale white wall
Yes.
behind them and like dim lights.
Yeah, no, this
And
is the
it's like
first one
this,
that
like-
has like
there's,
real
like,
something
late
behind
night
it.
blue
He's
light cave.
he's prioritizing
This
his
is
mental
like
health.
sunny. This
Yes.
is,
No, this
thi-
is a
this
da-
is someone like it looks like, man, this person, they don't game a ton, but their life is together. Like,
Mhm.
you know, it looks like it's more together.
The desk is nice too.
Yeah, I like the
got two
desk.
drawers.
Yeah.
I like the grain of the wood on the desk. I think it looks good.
What would you guys give this? I'd give this a solid like
8.
6.5.
I'd give it like an 8. I think.
8.
I think this is an 8.
See, I think I'm just docking points for the laptop. The
Oh.
laptop just really does not sit well
Yeah,
with
I'm
me.
not a huge
That's
gaming
totally-
laptop fan, and I think there's like
I'm
some
not either.
setup
I'm
things
docking
that
a
could be
little
done
bit for
differently,
that, but
like
Overall,
the vibe,
yeah.
it gives off is good.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best
The
vibes we've
yellow
seen.
and the sunlight
Yes.
with the trees. I
yes,
think it's
very
good.
nice.
Well, that's a comfy setup, I'd say. Is there anything? That's all of them, correct?
Tyler wants his review.
Tyler wants. Did he just submit it?
No, he submitted the troll one by itself.
Oh, can we see it, or is it like not safe for work? Let's see it. Tyler,
I'm
the
interested.
Yo,
Bro.
yo,
PUBG Mobile.
He's
Okay,
cooking.
So I will die on this hill. Those like mini one-hand
Yeah.
keyboards are so underrated. I want one, especially
I've seen one.
like playing World of Warcraft.
Oh, you
majority
get
of my
everything
time.
on your left
I
hand.
could put everything I need just in one hand. I don't need a full keyboard. Like I want one of them.
I could play League of
And it's
Legends on the
ergonomic.
keyboard. There is that.
Yeah, it's ergonomic.
Unironically,
It's
I have everything I need for CS on that keyboard. Like,
yeah.
you can make it work. The mouse, that's just like a cheap like Red Dragon. So I mean, docking points for that. You could probably do with a
Okay,
wireless
sure.
Cable
mouse.
management's good though.
Yeah. What's the thing at the top for? What do you think that
I
is?
don't know. It might be a battery or something or a mic.
Wait, all in sweet. Is this awkward?
No, that
Dips?
that might be part of like
submitted
the
Crazy.
what is it called? Clamp, I guess, for the phone. Like
oh,
you see,
it
you
is.
see at the
It's
bottom. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
the
obviously,
mouse being like still bundled up.
Yeah,
in
where's the mouse
wires
pad?
Is really funny.
where's the mouse pad? Where's the mouse space? You probably need binoculars to see what's fucking going on. There's my second F-bomb. I stole one of your guys's.
Binoculars?
But overall, you make do with what you have, and it's a pretty cool thing to look at. 4 out of 10.
4 out of
4 out of 10. I'm being
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah, it gets like a 3.
3.
There's no mouse pad. I think that's an egregious sin. I used to not use a mouse pad when I was in like middle school, early high
Yeah.
school, and then I realized like, man, like I need a mouse pad. It's like I can't keep
It's
living
life
like
changing.
this.
You're ruining your mouse in the process if you don't
Yeah,
use a mouse
for sure.
pad, especially depending on the setup. But thanks, Tyler, for submitting this. Gave me a good chuckle. I think gave everyone else a good chuckle. What do you guys think? Do you think we got some fire setups at GMU?
Oh yeah, fire shot.
I
out-
think,
shout out
I
to
think people are
Hussein's.
doing the best they can with the dorms.
Yeah,
For sure,
I think
for
like
sure.
you know, if I was at my house and I had I had a bigger room and more desk space and more choice of what my desk is,
Yeah.
I think we see more setups like Hussein's that look really nice.
Yeah, they
But
put
I think,
a lot more
you know,
care
when-
into it.
considering people are working with the dorm environments.
And they're
they're
students.
making too. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
students. They don't want to get huge setups because they know they're going to be in a different dorm next year.
Yeah.
Like I totally get it, and I think for what we got, for what they have to work with, they did quite well.
Seeing these setups makes me wish that I submitted mine. Just take 5 seconds, just put it in. Like
Yeah.
I would have loved to
I
review
forgot to
mine.
submit
I'm very self-involved. Clearly. Well, that was rate your setups. Thank you guys for submitting the setups. I'd love to see them. Maybe we'll return this segment for another week. I do want to say, before we go, we will wrap it up here shortly. We are a little bit over time. We will be doing clip submissions. So we're going to be doing a clip of the week. We're going to be choosing some of the top clips that you guys submit, reviewing them live on air, and then debating and figuring out the best clip of the week. It can be any of our competitive games. It doesn't even have to be a competitive game. If you get some crazy combo on Osu, then submit it. Feel free. Whatever you're proud of, whatever you're confident in, we'd love to see it. We'd love to review it. But with that being said, any closing thought for you guys? You guys want anything off your chest? Anything you want to say to the people? Anything that you feel like needs to be said before we head out?
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
Thanks for having us, especially get to talk a little bit.
Follow
about
the
Worlds.
stream.
Yeah. Oh, and to piggyback off the rate the clips thing, make sure your clips are safe for work and that they don't include like harsh language or anything.
We'll be
Yeah,
looking at them beforehand.
If you submit
If
a
you
clip,
curse or
it
something, just mute it.
doesn't matter how cool the clip is. If it has something in it we can't show, we can't.
Yeah,
do it.
we're
So
not-
Just be cognizant of it.
Yeah, good distinction there. But with that being said, no final words for you guys. You ready to wrap it up?
All good.
Get out of
I'm
here.
ready to wrap it up.
I got some office hours
Awesome.
to get to. So, thank you guys for coming on. I hope you guys had a great time.
Thanks for having
you.
us.
It was a pleasure, really. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for doing everything behind the
Let's go,
scenes and
Aid.
keeping this lubricated and running well. Thank you to GMU Esports for letting us do this week after week. I'm having a great time doing it, and I hope you guys are having a great time watching. Thank you for tuning in, and you can you can catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, really anywhere you get podcasts. The VOD for this will be uploaded shortly. And is there anyone else I have to thank? No. Yeah. Tune in next week. You guys ready to
Yeah.
head out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Peace.
Bye.
See you guys.